Hi guys, Mimi G here. Welcome back to my channel. So today's New Year's Eve, and I thought that I would just do a quick video, mostly just thanking you guys because the last decade has been an amazing one for me. Not only did I have really amazing things happen, but we had just not so great things happen because that's sort of what happens in life. So I guess it's just been a point of like reflection where you sort of sit back and look at the last 10 years. It's the end of a decade and you're like, wow, like, I've done a lot of stuff in the last 10 years. I went from working a 9 to 5 job to starting a blog, which, for me was just a hobby. It was just something that I needed to do to sort of get me out of the slump that I was in. I was working a full-time job, not really all that happy in that job. Not just because I hated my job, but because I just felt I was supposed to be doing something else. I was, the sole breadwinner for a really long period during that last marriage, which also ended in that decade, in this decade. But it was just a lot of pressure in a lot of different areas, and I was unhappy and I needed something to do, so I started the blog. And this blog has completely changed my entire life. When I started the blog, like I said, it was just a hobby. It was just something to keep me sort of focused on joy. I was trying to find joy, and I found it in my hobby, which is sewing. And I started the blog because I just wanted to help people learn how to sew. And, from then very quickly, I realized that this hobby that I had could potentially be a career. And so when I started the blog about a year and a half into, not my first blog, because I started blogging back in 2008. I think was my first blog, which I think I blogged a total of 3 times that entire year. I'm talking about the creation of Mimi G Style, which is when I decided that I was going to blog consistently about what I loved, and I created Mimi G Style. And then after a year and a half of that, I think that was in 2012, I quit my job. I quit my job that I was working full time in film and production of all things, which, turned out to be pretty handy. And, when you work, I started working when I think my first job was at 17. I was a teen mom, so I had my daughter when I was 16 years old. And I've never not worked. I had always worked a job, a full-time job. So, even after I was making money on my blog with my tutorials and things like that, I was terrified to quit my job. But a year and a half after starting the blog, I was making more money on my blog than I was at my job. So I quit, and I focused all my energy on creating tutorials and teaching people how to sew and design, and to really just share, the love I had for my hobby. And that snowballed into creating $1 million business, teaching people to sew and design, licensing my name, creating products, having a podcast, consulting major corporations on what they should do and shouldn't do, speaking in front of huge groups of people, sharing my knowledge of how to turn your hobby into a successful business and how to do it in a way that is authentic to you, and without worrying about what everybody else is doing on social media, and really just focusing on your craft and how to deliver it. I have I've done so many things, but when I sit back and think about the fact that within this decade alone, I went from struggling to pay my bills and feed my family, to owning and running $1 million business is insane. It really is insane. And I'm so grateful. But most of all, I think it just speaks to the fact that you can do anything you want in your life. You really can. if you learn to do things because you truly enjoy them, because you love them, because you love to share and teach and grow with other people, what you create creates a life of its own, right? Mimi G Style and the empire, the businesses that have come out of Mimi G Style are greater than me. As a business owner, I've been able to grow consistently over the last however many years it's been. I think total of 8 years, seven, almost 8 years now. And that is not just because I was able to create this amazing business and learn all this stuff about social media and how to grow a brand and how to grow a following and how to use your customers to help build your businesses. But really, I was just a girl who loved sewing and wanted to teach other people to do it. And it excited me. And although as a person, I have made in the last 10 years huge mistakes. I have lost friends. I have gained friends. I have made bad decisions. I have, as a person, I have had serious ups and downs, most of which you guys haven't seen because I don't really share that part of my life on social media. I learned my lesson a long time ago. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, right? And although I can say that as a person, I may not have been perfect over the last decade, as a business owner, as a content creator, I have tried my very best to provide value to everybody who follows me. And so I think because of that, I have had great success, and I am so grateful and thankful for that. I am a teen runaway. I am a teen mom. I am a survivor of domestic violence. I am a survivor of sexual assault as a child. There's been a lot of things in my life that haven't been great. So when I sit back and I look at where just this decade alone has taken me, the amount of growth, personal and professional, that has happened, it's really something to sit back and just be grateful and thankful about. I don't even know why this video was just to say thank you, but I think when you have a bit more context to somebody's story, it sort of helps. And I talk about that on the podcast, the Business Shit podcast, which is on all platforms. I share a lot about my story. I share a lot of business advice and guidance, because I want people to be able to do what I have done and what I continue to do, because I'm just getting started. I have so much shit in the pipeline that I'm super excited about, and really I'm just looking forward to it. So I wanted to come on and say thank you so much for the enormous amount of support that you guys have shown, not just Mimi G Style and its businesses, but just me. You guys, when you see me in the street, you come, you say hello, you hug and kiss on me, and you thank me, and you share your stories with me. Online, you guys support and share me. You tell your friends about me. You support my products. You support my family, my children, my husband, my mom, who you guys love. I mean, I've tried my very best to share my personal life, but still keeping some personal stuff to myself, because it can be a lot. But you guys have sort of grown with me over the last decade, and so thank you so much for that ongoing support. And I hope you sort of hang in there with me to see what else is coming. I hope that everything you hope for your life comes to fruition, that 2020 brings all of the things that you desire. But really, you don't have to wait till the first of the year to do anything. You should be able to get started on whatever it is that you want to do immediately. I know I never make New Year's resolutions, because if I can't start what I want to do right now, if I can't be healthy right now, if I can't start eating well right now, then I'm really just fooling myself, thinking that on this magical day of January 1st, all of a sudden I'm going to have all this motivation and discipline, and really that's not how it happens. Which reminds me, there's a really great podcast episode on my podcast, Business Shit, where I talk about motivation and discipline and which one is it that you're truly lacking. Anyway, Thank you guys so much, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, for the ongoing support, the continued support that I hope you guys give me, for the love that you guys show me, my family. And I hope to be able to bring you even more amazing things in the upcoming decade. So talk to you guys soon. Happy New Year. Peace.